Hi there, this is Rebecca from humbleplace.com, and today we're going to take a look at a painting that was done by a man named Vincent van Gogh, as we say here in the United States, or Vincent van Gogh, which is closer to the pronunciation of his native Netherlands. And though he was not very popular at all during his lifetime, he is very popular now, so chances are that you've heard of him. If you'd like to take a moment to pause the video, and anyone who wants to share anything that they know about him or his art can do so now, and then go ahead and start the video back up again and we'll continue our picture study. Vincent van Gogh was a 19th century post-impressionist artist. He was born in the Netherlands, and if you'd like to go ahead and pause the video again here, try and find the Netherlands on the map. Once you've found it, go ahead and play the video and I'll show you where it is. He was born into the family of a minister and was the oldest of 6 children, although he did have an older brother, also named Vincent, who died in infancy almost exactly 1 year before this Vincent was born. Even at a young age, he preferred to be alone and would often spend a lot of time outdoors in nature. And nature was something that was a source of comfort for him throughout his entire life. He often found a great deal of peace when he was outside. When he was a child, he also loved to collect specimens from the natural world, things like insects or leaves. He loved to go fishing, and he enjoyed mounting these items so that he could save them and study them further. He also loved to sketch things from the natural world. As he got older, he did end up finding a very good friend in his younger brother, Theo, and this relationship ended up being a source of great comfort for him, support financially and emotionally throughout the rest of his lifetime. As I mentioned before, he was born in the Netherlands, and he did move around somewhat. He spent some time in England as well, but the majority of his adult life was spent in France. Go ahead and pause the video again here and see if you can find France on the map. Once you've found it, you can play the video again, and I'll show you where it is. We're now at one of the most important parts of picture study, and this is when we take a little time to study the painting and really take a look at it. So right now, you'll take about 3 to 5 minutes to look at the painting, and do this until you can see all parts of it in your mind when you close your eyes. So every once in a while, close your eyes and see if you can bring that image up in your mind's eye. If there's a part of it that's still a little blurry or unclear, you can open your eyes again and study that part of the painting, and keep doing that until you can see the whole painting in your mind clearly. You don't need to pause the video. However, when about 3 minutes have gone by, I'll flash a warning on the screen to let you know that if you'd like to take more time to look at the piece, you'll need to pause the video at that point. And now we come to the second most important thing during picture study, which is narration. So what you'll want to do is pause the video here so that you can't see the painting, and then describe it. Take time to really talk about the details, the colors, the things that stood out to you. Make sure everyone has had a chance to narrate what they saw in the painting, and then you can go ahead and hit play again, and we'll continue our discussion. Now we'll spend some time talking about the painting. During his lifetime, Vincent was a prolific letter writer, especially to his younger brother, Theo, and we now have over 900 letters that he wrote to various people that are available online. And often when he was working on a specific painting, he would discuss it in detail, and because of this, we have many letters in which he's actually narrated his own paintings. So this is what he said about this particular piece, which he called the bedroom. It's also been called Bedroom at Arles and Bedroom in Arles. In October of 1888, he wrote this to Theo. "This time, it's simply my bedroom, but the color has to do the job here. And through its being simplified, it gives a grander style to things, to be suggestive here of rest or of sleep in general. In short, looking at the painting should rest the mind, or rather the imagination. The walls are of a pale violet, the floor is of red tiles, the bedstead and the chairs are fresh butter yellow, the sheet and the pillows very bright lemon green, the blanket scarlet red, the window green, the dressing table orange, the basin blue, the doors lilac, and that's all. Nothing else in this bedroom with its shutters closed. The solidity of the furniture should also now express unshakable repose. Portraits on the wall, and a mirror and a hand towel and some clothes. The frame, as there's no white in the painting, will be white." Vincent spent a few years in Paris living with his brother Theo, and it was a very dark part of his life. He did not enjoy his time in the city. And one plan that he came up with while he was there was to create a sort of artists' colony, a place where artists could come and really grow their art, foster their creativity, and live together in a community. He also met Paul Gauguin when he was living in Paris, and when he left Paris after a few years, he moved to the south of France to a town called Arles, and decided to start his artist colony there. And he started by writing several letters to Paul Gauguin to see if he would be interested in living there with him. And this particular room was in what he called the Yellow House, which was the place where he lived in Arles and the house that he intended to make into his artist colony. Vincent was often sad throughout his life. However, his time at the Yellow House was a very positive time for him. His letters had a lot more hope in them. He was very excited about planning this artist colony where he and his friends could really thrive in their creativity. So this time at Arles was a time of very fond memories for him. One of the first things that people usually notice about this painting is the back wall and how it seems to be at a strange angle. A lot of times people think that maybe he just didn't understand perspective, when in reality he did have a very good understanding of perspective. When the house was built, it was constructed on a lot that didn't have the traditional rectangle shape that most lots do. And so the house has sort of a trapezoidal footprint, which is reflected in the shape of the room here. Most people also notice that there are two doors in the room. The one on the right leads to a hallway with a set of stairs going down, and the one on the left leads to another bedroom, which Vincent intended for Paul Gauguin when he came to live with him. So in order to get to his bedroom, Paul would have had to walk through Vincent's room. There are a few paintings on the walls, including two above his bed that were portraits that he painted of two friends of his. The one on the left is Eugène Bosch, who was also a painter, and the one on the right is Paul Eugène Millier, who was a soldier in the French army. As I mentioned before, Vincent's time in Arles was a very positive time in his life, and he had a lot of fond memories from this period. Later, when he was forced to leave Arles and was living in an asylum, he painted 2 more paintings of this very room, both from memory. Some of the details are a little bit different, but otherwise the overall feeling of the room is the same, and it's very obvious that this was a very special place to him. So this concludes this picture study on Vincent van Gogh's The Bedroom, and I hope it was helpful. If you're interested in doing more picture studies on Vincent van Gogh, I do have a picture study aid available on my website that covers 5 other paintings by him. And I also offer free picture study aids for other artists as well, and you can find all of that at ahumbleplace.com.